Let's see. What are your best practices to consistently get feedback from buyers on eBay? I've sold about 20 items recently and only got about 3 feedbacks total. So this is the thing. Most buyers, I would probably say maybe 60-70% of buyers, they don't leave feedback. It just is what it is. So one good thing for you to do if you're trying to gain feedback is to give feedback. You give feedback, that way once they get the item, especially when the item is delivered and then you send feedback that same day while it's fresh in their head, they might send you feedback. Just the odds of them sending you feedback is going to be much higher, right? Doing good business, period. Like making sure they get the item in a good amount of time, making sure it's as described, just doing your part. Sometimes people will give you feedback. But that's really all you can do. It's really outside of your control. I just say to get feedback, you should give it, and just try to give good customer service, and hopefully that person gives you feedback as well. Some people message people and say, hey, I left you feedback, I'd appreciate it too. You can do that. I've never done that, but that's an option on the table there as well. Only reason why I never do that is only because feedback was never that big of a deal to me, especially once I got over 1,000. I stopped caring. Probably a bad habit. Probably shouldn't be like me. You probably should always continue to try to get as much feedback as possible. But I just know I didn't really push that much. So do good business. Send them a message that might work for you too, and then give feedback. That's the best advice I got. My man BG, when I source, I go into extreme competitive zone, as you should. People be in there and smiling and chatting it up. I'm in there, game face on. And the good thing is now we got to wear masks so people can't even see like how aggressive my face is. But I'm locked in because at the end of the day, like I used to play sports. I'm a competitive person, so it's naturally just in me. But the attitude you got to have is like, yo, I'm using this. I'm getting money with these. Like I'm not buying stuff to be fashionable. I'm buying stuff to make money. So if you have that competitive approach, you'd be more successful. Everybody in business is super competitive. There's people that's in business and they never plan on retiring because it's a sport they can be competitive with regardless of their physical stature. You know what I mean? So definitely got to be competitive with it. How many shoes did you have listed before you went full time? So I started out full time. Like I didn't start part time. Like I just jumped straight in. And when I started out, I was selling thrifted items. And not even when I started, I was just selling my stuff. Like I was just selling suits. I was selling my dress shoes. I was selling my stuff. But it was full time even when I first started because I quit my job and I didn't really have a plan. So the whole like full-time reseller thing, like I just did that because that was the only source of income at that time. And then I just, gradually just tried to refine my skills and just get better. So I can't even tell you how much shoes I started with. I just started with my closet and just kept putting that money back into the business. Let's see, but I do spend a lot of time still doing comps in store. I need to get comfortable with brands and risks. I still check comps all the time. Like I'm in the stores checking my phone, depending on what store I'm in. I might be doing that at the register. If I'm in line, I might be waiting and just, checking comps. Checking comps is super important. There is times, say for instance, I'm in a Nike outlet and I don't have service because the Nike outlet in my area, the store just terrible. But if I need to take a risk on a shoe, I'll go ahead and I'll take that risk only if I know exactly what I'm dealing with. But most items, I'm still checking comps. Don't trip about wasting time or thinking you're wasting time. What you're doing is you're just doing the work and you're getting better. And there's going to come a point where you're not going to spend as much time checking comps. You're going to be able to just check it really quickly and you'll be good to go. But always do the work. Always do the work. See, how do you stay positive? I seem to get down on myself when I don't find any shoes, but really happy when I do. How do you stay consistent with your emotions? Shit, I don't stay consistent with my emotions. Like I'm working on it though. It's one of those things where I try to keep myself in check. I try to stay positive. I try to like consume positive information, right? Like I'm on YouTube often. I read often. So I'm trying to consume positive information, stuff that's going to like refill my cup. That way I'm not off kilter and I'm not off balance, right? But yeah, I try to like, just be positive by all means in terms of consuming positive content watching my words. Like, I try not to put negative energy out, because it's a fact. Whatever energy you put out is the energy you're going to get back. So I try to just stay positive with all those types of stuff. And when I go out and I don't find anything that's quality, I don't necessarily get upset, because I know that's part of the game. All right. Being consistent really means being consistent even when times are tough. Like, when things seem slow, you're still walking in faith. You know what I mean? It's all about just doing the work, staying positive, and being consistent, even if it's like it seems like, yo, what am I doing? I'm wasting my time. Like, you might feel like that, but you're not. You know what I mean? You're definitely not wasting your time. You're doing the right thing. And I'm big on affirmations. Like, especially if I'm working out, like, I'm the type that's gonna say, come on, let's go. Come on, let's go. You gotta push. Like, I talk to myself. Like, I give myself that upliftment when I need it. So that's just a few of the stuff I do. But I mean, it's simple. I'm not gonna say it's simple, but it comes with practice, and I'm still working on it all the time. I'm not there yet, but like, that's the type of stuff that I'm doing to kind of keep myself in check. Let's see. I seem to always find everything at the last store I go to, so I'm down all day until the last store. That's a fact. I know exactly what you mean. And the thing is, sometimes I'll go to a store and I'll wouldn't find anything, but because I didn't find anything, I'm not ready to go home yet. Like, I don't want to just leave empty-handed. So I'll go to another store and another store until I at least feel like I've put in enough time and I've been able to get something out of it. Because the worst thing is when you spend a few hours out and you leave with nothing. Like, those are the days where it's like it could get really tough and like mentally straining. But it's all part of practice.
For the winner, cause you felt like you was losing, only for the winner. Move just to keep from cooling, like only for the winner, only for the winner, only for the winner. Boy, my heart is cold, and I'm too cool to sweat it. I should've never offered it. I'm tight and now I'm off this.